Right. Regarding direct method of determining lattice energy, nothing but Born-Haber cycle. So Born-Haber cycle is direct method of indirect method of determining lattice energy. Born-Haber cycle, what is the main principle of Born-Haber cycle? Hess law. So what is Hess law? Or we call it as Hess law of constant heat summation. Hess law of constant heat summation. What is Hess law? Energy change during a process. Energy change during a process is independent of number of steps involved in it. For example, let me consider formation of NaCl crystal from sodium and chlorine. Sodium is solid in form, sodium metal is in solid form, allowed to combine with chlorine in gaseous form. When they combine with each other to form sodium chloride, which is solid. So here I can take half mole of it. If I take half mole, I will get 1 Cl. So reaction got balanced. So for this reaction, there is some energy change. Let me assume that as delta H of reaction, energy change of the process, enthalpy change of the process, delta H of reaction. Right? Now, for this process, first we need to convert sodium from solid state to sodium in gaseous state. Then sodium in gaseous state should be converted to Na plus ion in gaseous state. Cl2 first should convert to chlorine atom in gaseous state. Then that should be converted to Cl minus in gaseous state. Right? First this Cl2 should convert to chlorine atom. Chlorine atom should convert into Cl minus ion. Na should convert into Na plus ion. This Na plus ion and Cl minus ion should attract with each other and form sodium chloride crystal. Right? When cation and anion, 1 mole of cation, 1 mole of anion come close to each other to form 1 mole of solid, we call it as. So energy change during this process is called lattice energy. So let me indicate that by symbol U. Sodium solid should convert into sodium gas. What is this process called? Sublimation. So here let me assume the energy change as sublimation energy. Let me indicate that by using S. Indicated by using delta H of sublimation. Delta H of sublimation. I write as SUB. Are you able to understand?
Yes.
Delta H of sublimation. Then sodium should convert into Na plus. What is this process called as? Ionization. So let me write that as delta H of ionization. I write as IE. Delta H of ionization energy. Delta H of sublimation. No. Chlorine molecule should convert into chlorine atom. That means I need to break bond between chlorine and chlorine. I need to break bond between chlorine and chlorine. Then I will get chlorine atoms. 2 chlorine atoms. If I take 1 mole, I will get 2 chlorine atoms. If I take half mole, I will get 1 chlorine. So to get 1 chlorine atom, I need to break half mole. To break 1 mole of Cl bonds, energy required is called bond dissociation energy. Right? Or bond dissociation enthalpy. To break half mole, I have to provide half of bond enthalpy. Half of bond enthalpy. Right? If I give you 1 bond energy enthalpy means 1 mole. For 1 mole, I will write delta H. As I have taken half mole, I am taking half mole of it. To convert chlorine to Cl minus N, what is this process called as? Electron gain, right? Or electron affinity, or I have to write as electron gain enthalpy. I write as EG, electron gain enthalpy. If I add all these energies, if I add all these 5 energies, then I should get total energy, right? So according to Hess law, what is Hess law? Net energy change during a process is independent of number of steps involved. How many steps involved here? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Right? Total energy change in these 5 steps must be equal to net energy change of the process. So I am writing that. According to Hess law, delta H of reaction is equal to delta H of sublimation plus delta H of ionization energy plus half of delta H of bond energy plus electron gain enthalpy plus lattice energy. Right? Therefore, lattice energy U is equal to, now what you get? Bring all these terms to that side. You will get delta H of reaction minus of delta H of sublimation plus delta H of ionization energy plus delta H of bond energy by 2 plus delta H of electron gain enthalpy. Right? Any doubt in this? No. Reaction of sodium with chlorine to form NaCl, that is an exothermic process. So exothermic process means this value is negative. This value is negative. Sublimation means energy required to convert solid to gas. So that means I need to provide energy. So the process is plus. Endothermic process, that means positive. Ionization energy required to remove electron. So I am removing electron means I am providing energy. So again energy is given by me. So again endothermic process, positive. Endothermic process means energy is taken by the system. That means I am giving energy means endothermic. If I get energy, exothermic. If I give energy, endothermic. If I take energy, exothermic. Now coming to reaction. If reaction is giving energy, endothermic. If reaction is giving energy, exothermic. If reaction is taking energy, endothermic. If reaction is taking energy, endothermic. If reaction is giving energy, exothermic. So ionization energy means energy is taken by the system to give electron. So endo. Bond energy to break the bond. System has to take energy to break the bond. That means you need to give energy to break the bond. So it is endo. Means again positive. Now electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy means energy released when an electron is added. So this is negative. Right? Now lattice energy. Lattice energy. Energy released when to form a mole of ionic solid. So that is also negative. General. So we anyhow I am not bothered about it. Right? Now delta H of reaction may be negative, may be positive. That depends. May be negative or positive based upon what the process you are doing. In this particular case, the value is negative. Now coming to, let me check the particular values. The delta H of reaction is given as minus 410 kilojoules per mole. Given this value as minus 410 kilojoules per mole. Delta H of sublimation given as 108.8 kilojoule per mole. This is given as 108.8 kilojoule per mole. Ionization energy 493.7. This is given as 493.7 kilojoule per mole. Next, bond dissociation energy 242.7. This total value is 242.7 divided by 2 kilojoules per mole. Electron affinity minus 368. Minus 368.2 kilojoule per mole. Now, how to find lattice energy? I need to substitute all those values. Therefore, lattice energy of NaCl crystal is equal to what I have to write? Delta H of reaction, what is it? Minus 410 minus of, what is delta H of sublimation? 108.8 plus ionization energy 493.7 plus half of bond energy 242.7 by 2 plus
minus 368.2.
minus 368.2. Right? So in our case this is negative, that's why I am keeping it as negative. If I add all those values, you will get lattice energy value. So we got that value as 765.65. 765.65 kilojoule per mole. This is how we will measure lattice energy, not directly, indirectly. Right? Regarding crystal structure. Here we will discuss about only two types of crystal, sodium chloride and cesium chloride. Right? If you take sodium chloride, here Na plus ions and Cl minus ions are arranged regularly to form NaCl crystal. These Cl minus ions, they form lattice points of CCP, or we write as FCC, face centered cubic or cubic close packing. Lattice points of face centered cubic or cubic close packing. Na plus ions occupy all octahedral voids. NaCl occupy all octahedral voids. FCC means if I consider this as a right, so these are Cl minus ions. These dots are nothing but Cl. Right? Whereas Na plus ions occupy octahedral voids. In this octahedral voids always will exist at edge center and body center. This is edge center now. This is edge center. Top 4 edge centers. Sides 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally 12 edge centers. Right? And also this is body center. Right? So Na plus ions occupy octahedral voids, and their position of octahedral voids will be edge centers and body center. Right? Totally edge centers 12, body center 1. 1 into 1 is equal to 1. 12 into 1 by 4 is equal to 3. Whereas lattice points, corners are 8. 8 corners share is 8 into 1 by 8. Corners share is 8. 8 into 1 by 8 is equal to 1. Face centers 6. 6 into 1 by 2 is equal to 3. Totally 4 Cl minus amps and 4 Na plus amps. Totally 4 Na plus amps. Here totally 4 Cl minus amps. Therefore, for each unit cell, 4 NaCl molecules will be present. For each unit cell, 4 NaCl molecules are present. If you check radius of Na plus ion upon radius of Cl minus ion, that radius ratio is 0.53. 0.528. 0.95 by 0.1.8. 0.95 by 1.8. So this value is 0.53, 0.528. Radius of Na plus upon radius of Cl minus is 0.528. So based upon this ratio, we found where the Na plus is present. We call this radius of Na plus upon radius of Cl minus, radius of cation by radius of anion. This is called limiting radius ratio. We call that as limiting radius ratio. If the ratio is this, then coordination number will be 6. Therefore, Na plus should occupy octahedral. Gurtunda idi?
Yes, sir.
See this. If you take limiting radius ratio values, we write it as radius of cation by radius of anion. If this ratio is less than 0.155, if the ratio value is less than 0.155, then coordination number is 2. Then the geometry will be linear. If that is between 0.155 to 0.225,
Trigonal void.
then the coordination number is 3.
3 trigonal void.
Then it is present in trigonal void. It is, if it is 0.225 to 0.414. If coordination number is 4,
Tetrahedral void.
then it is a tetrahedral. If it is 0.414 to 0.732, then coordination number may be either 4 or 6, 2 possibilities.
Square planar.
If it is 4, then it is square planar void.
If it is 6, octahedral void.
If it is 6, octahedral void. If this is 0.732 to 0.999, then coordination number is 8, then we call it as cubical void. How I set this thing? Set this. Let me consider about trigonal void. Triangle, right? So if I consider 3 anions, in this way. We know that anions are larger in size,
Yes.
right? So let me consider this as anion. Anion is larger in size. Now this anion will have some radius.
Yes.
Let me consider the radius of that anion. The radius of that anion. This value as R minus. Let me consider this value as R minus. Right? Now, there is some gap present here. That gap is created because of a triangular form. Therefore, we call that gap as trigonal void. We call that space as trigonal void. Now, in that space, I can place a cation because cations are smaller in size. Cations are small in size, so I can fit a cation in it. So, let me consider that as a cation. Let me consider that as a cation. Now, that cation has some radius.
R minus.
So, let me assume the radius of cation as R plus. Radius of cation as R plus. Radius of anion as R minus. Now, what we need to calculate? Radius of cation by radius of anion.
Limiting radius.
I need to calculate radius of R plus by radius of R minus. So, let me check it. Can I form a triangle here? From this corner, that means from this center, and the center of this cation. Can I form a triangle there? Right? So let me say this. This is corner, this is the center. I formed a triangle. Right? If I draw an angle bisector in this way, then what is this length? From here to here, what is that length? R minus. That length is nothing but equal to R. So I am writing that as R minus. What about this length? What about distance between this and this center? That is nothing but equal to R minus plus R plus. This length is nothing but equal to radius of anion plus radius of cation. Right? Any doubt in that? No. If I consider this total will be an equilateral triangle. The total thing is an equilateral triangle. This one. Then this is nothing but angle bisector of it. Right, forms a equilateral triangle in this way. Like this, it forms a equilateral triangle here.
Yes, sir.
This is nothing but center point of it. Now what about this angle? 30. In an equilateral triangle, all angles are 60.
60.
So this is exactly half of it. Angle bisector means half of it. So that angle is 30. So if this angle is 30, what about this angle?
30.
So that angle is also 30. So this angle is 30. So this angle, let me consider that angle as theta. That theta is nothing but equal to 30 degrees. Now, what is cos 30?
3 by 2.
Cos theta is nothing but adjacent side by hypotenuse. What is adjacent side? R minus by hypotenuse. R minus plus R plus. Right? Any note in that? Now, what is cos 30?
3 by 2.
Take reciprocal of it.
2 by 3.
So 2 by root 3 is equal to. This also becomes reciprocal.
Yes.
R minus plus R plus upon R minus. Correct? Now, can I write this as 2 by root 3 minus 1 is equal to R plus by R minus? R minus by R minus plus R plus by R minus. R minus by R minus is 1, I brought that one to that side. So 2 by root 3 minus 1 is equal to R plus by R minus. What is 2 by root 3 minus 1? 2 divided by root 3 minus 1. Root 3 is 1.732. 2 divided by 1.732. 2 divided by 1.732 is nothing but equal to 1.1547. 1.1547. Can I write as 1.155? 1.155. So this is nothing but equal to 1.155 minus 1 is equal to R plus by R minus. Then what is R plus by R minus?
0.
R plus by R minus is 0.155. Right? So what is the maximum radius of cation? It should be 0.155 into R minus. So radius of this is nothing but 0.155 times of this R minus. If it becomes less than that, can I fit that in that place? అంతకన్నా సైజ్ చిన్నదైతే అందులో ఆ స్పేస్ లో పెట్టగలనా లేదా? ఎందుకు పెట్టాలి? చిన్నదైతే పెట్టగలనా లేదా? పెద్దదైతే పెట్టలేదు. అర్థం ఉందా చెప్తుంది? సో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లెస్ దాన్ 0.155 ఏమవుతుంది? పెట్టగలరు, కాకపోతే కింద పడుతుంది. రైట్, అంతేనా? సో మినిమం ఎంత సైజ్ ఉండాలి అక్కడ ఫిట్ అవ్వాలి అంటే? What must be the minimum size to fit at that place? This is the minimum size to fit in that space. Right? Till what extent I can place there? If I keep on increasing the size of it, what happens? The gap between these anions will increase. దీని సైజ్ పెంచుతూ ఉంటే ఈ రెండు మధ్య ఉన్న స్పేస్ ఏమవుతుంది? పెరుగుతుంది. అంటే మధ్యలో కొంచెం గ్యాప్ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. If that reaches 0.225, అది 0.225 రైజ్ స్పేస్ కి రీచ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది? టెట్రాహెడ్రల్ వైడ్. మీరు ఇలాగే టెట్రాహెడ్రల్ కూడా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయొచ్చు. If you calculate for tetrahedral void, you will get that value as 0.225. If you calculate similarly for tetrahedral void, you will get that value as 0.225. So 0.225 కన్నా సైజ్ చిన్నదైతే అది ఎక్కడికి వచ్చి పడుతుంది? ట్రైగోనల్ వైడ్. టెట్రాహెడ్రల్ వైడ్ అంటే ఎలా ఉండాలి చూడండి. This is a triangle, right? On top of the triangle, if I place another sphere in this way, on the top of the triangle, if I place another sphere, the final sphere with that, then it forms a tetrahedron.
Yes.
And then, మొత్తం 4 faces ఉంటాయి కదా? If I place in that way, what you will get? You will get a triangle here, and another one here. Then what you got? You got a tetrahedron, face 1, front face 2, this side face 3, this side face 4. Tetrahedron, 4 faces. ఇంకా క్లియర్ అర్థం కావాలంటే ఇది పెట్టు చేస్తాను. These are the 3, bottom 3 and top 1. Now are you able to see that now? 4 faces. Right? Now, if you place 4 spheres here, you will get a tetrahedral void somewhere here. ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది కదా, 4 మధ్యలో. It should be between the 4 spheres. So we call this position as tetrahedral void. To have any sphere in this tetrahedral void, what must be the minimum size? 0.225. If its size decreases than 0.225, then it will fall down from there. అక్కడ నుంచి పడిపోతే ఎక్కడ పడిపోతుంది? అది చెప్పాను. 0.225 కన్నా తక్కువ అయితే ట్రైగోనల్ వైడ్, ఎక్కువైతే టెట్రాహెడ్రల్ వైడ్. అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్పింది? Similarly, we have calculated all these ratios by using simple mathematics, simple geometry. Simple geometry బేస్ చేసుకొని వాటి వాల్యూస్ అన్ని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం. అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్పింది? ఎనీ డౌట్ రిగార్డింగ్ దట్? Now, coordination number. This is coordination number. Coordination number means number of spheres surrounding it. How many spheres surrounding this cation?
3.
How many spheres surrounding this cation?
4.
So coordination number is 4. Coordination number is 3. Coordination number 2. Coordination number 4. In square planar 6 and octahedral. Right? Now coming to this. What is radius of Na plus by radius of Cl minus? What is this value?
0.5.
0.528. 0.528 means it is in this range.
Octahedral.
Right? Then it is a 3-dimensional geometry.
Yes.
Square planar is a 2-dimensional one. So 3-dimensional means its a coordination number must be 6. That means cation should occupy
6.
octahedral void. So that's what I told. Cation should occupy octahedral void. Right? With coordination number 6. అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్తున్నా? సో ఆ విధంగా రెడీ చేసాం. Now similarly, if you take cesium chloride, if you take cesium chloride, radius of cesium by radius of Cl minus, this value is 0.9 0.938. That is 1.69 by 1.8. 1.69 by 1.8, which is nothing but equal to 0.938. Now, where it should be?
Cubical void.
Cubical void. Coordination number 8. Right? Cubical void means inside a cube we need to place. Right? How it will be? Check it. This is a cube, right? CL minus ions occupy corners. We got a cube now. Now the gap between all of 8, we call that space as cubical void. So here there will be cesium plus and these corners are CL minus ions. Right? ఇండైరెక్ట్ చెప్పాలంటే ఎలా ఉన్నట్టది సీజియం క్లోరైడ్ సరే these are bottom 4 Cl minus ions. These are top 4 Cl minus ions. These are bottom 4 Cl minus ions and these are top 4 Cl minus ions. Exact in the gap between them, there is one cesium plus ion. This is cesium plus, all these are Cl minus ions. If I bring them close to each other, then you will get this structure. Right? Now, how many Cl minus ions surrounding each cesium plus? Each cesium plus is surrounded by 8 Cl minus ions. Each Cl minus is surrounded by 8 cesium plus ions. How you can say it? If I consider this as a corner, consider this corner. How many rooms share that corner? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alage paina 4. Mottam enti 8. So 8 sharing that corner. Prati room no there is one cesium plus here.
Yes.
In 8 rooms you will have 8 cesium plus ions. That means that corner is surrounded by 8 Cl minus ions. 8 cesium plus ions. Because Cl minus ions are present at corner. So each Cl minus is surrounded by 8 cesium plus ions. Each cesium plus is surrounded by 8 Cl minus ions. Now what is the coordination number ratio? 8:8. Right? So coordination number ratio is equal to 8:8. Now, how many Cl minus ions present in this unit cell? In this one cell, how many Cl minus ions are there? 8. What is the share of each Cl minus ion per room? What is the share of this corner per room?
1 by 8.
1 by 8. Because the corner is shared by 8 rooms. For each room you have 1 by 8 part. So totally how many such 1 by 8 parts are there? 8. So 8 into 1 by 8. 1. Corner share is 8. Sorry, corner share is 1 by 8. 8 corners are there. So 8 into 1 by 8 is 1. 8 corners are there. So 8 into 1 by 8 is 1. Now cesium plus is present yet? Cubical void. That means at the center of the body. That is 1. So 1 cesium plus 8 into 1 by 8. That is 1 Cl minus ion. Total per unit cell 2. 1 cesium chloride per unit cell. Clear line? 1 cesium plus at the center of the body. 8 Cl minus chance means 8 into 1 by 8. Totally 1. So 1 Cl minus 1 cesium plus. Totally 1 cesium chloride per unit cell. Here 4 NaCls per unit cell. అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్తుంది ఎలా చెప్పాను ఫేస్ సెంటర్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద షేర్ ఆఫ్ ఫేస్ సెంటర్
6
1 by 2 అరే ఫేస్ సెంటర్ తీసుకుంటే ఎన్ని రూమ్స్ ఆ ఫేస్ సెంటర్ కామన్
6 1 by 2
ఎన్ని రూమ్స్ కి ఆ ఫేస్ సెంటర్ కామన్
2
ఈ రూమ్ కి దీని పై రూమ్ కే కదా ఆ ఫేస్ సెంటర్ కామన్ ఈ ఆ ఫ్యాన్ ఉంది కదా ఫ్యాన్ దగ్గర ఒక స్పియర్ పెట్టాను అనుకోండి ఇన్ ప్లేస్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్యాన్ ఇఫ్ ఐ ప్లేస్ ఎ స్పియర్ హౌ మెనీ రూమ్స్ షేర్ దట్ స్పియర్
2
దిస్ రూమ్ అండ్ టాప్ సో ఫేస్ సెంటర్ కి ఏదైనా ఒకటి ఉంటే వాట్ ద షేర్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫేస్ సెంటర్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ రూమ్ 1 by 2 రెండు రూమ్స్ కలిసి ఒక షేర్ చేసుకున్నాయి సో ఒక్కో రూమ్ కి సో టాప్ బాటమ్ లెఫ్ట్ రైట్ ఫ్రంట్ బ్యాక్ మొత్తం 6 into 1 by 2
3
సో అది రాసాను 6 into 1 by 2 3 ఫేస్ సెంటర్ అలాగే 8 కార్నర్స్ ఉన్నాయి 8 కార్నర్స్ అంటే 8 into 1 by 8 1 సో టోటల్ 4 నౌ ఎన్ని ప్రెసెన్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి అన్నాను ఆఫ్టర్ హైడ్రోవైడ్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి అన్నాను ఎడ్జ్ సెంటర్ బాడీ సెంటర్ ఇది ఎడ్జ్ సెంటరేగా రైట్ ఈ ఎడ్జ్ సెంటర్ షేర్ ఎంత ఎడ్జ్ మధ్యలో ఏదైనా పెడితే ఎన్ని రూమ్స్ షేర్ చేసుకుంటే ఆ ఎడ్జ్ మధ్య భాగాన్ని 1 2 పైన 2 పై 2 కింద 2 4 షేర్ చేసుకుంటాయి సో వాట్ ఇస్ షేర్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఎడ్జ్ సెంటర్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ రూమ్ 1 by 2 అలాంటి ఎడ్జ్ సెంటర్స్ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి 12 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 so 12 into 1 by 4
3
so 3 అలాగే ఒక బాడీ సెంటర్ షేర్ ఎంత 1 మొత్తం కలిపితే 4 సో 4 Na ప్లస్ ఉన్నాయి 4 Cl మైనస్ ఉన్నాయి టోటల్లీ 4 NaCl సో ఫర్ ఈచ్ యూనిట్ సెల్ దేర్ ఆర్ 4 NaCl మాలిక్యూల్స్ అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్తున్నాను ఇది ఎక్కడి నుంచి తీసుకొచ్చామంటే బేస్డ్ అపాన్ అయానిక్ రేడియస్ పెట్టి బేస్ చేసుకొని we have found limiting radius ratio value from limiting radius ratio values we found coordination number based upon the coordination number we have fixed the geometry of this so we have only sodium chloride cesium chloride now so sodium chloride geometry FCC geometry in which lattice points are occupied by Cl and octahedral voids are occupied by Na+. Cesium chloride తీసుకుంటే cesium chloride is cubical structure in which lattice points are occupied by Cl and the body center is occupied by cesium plus. It seems to be BCC but not ideal BCC. BCC అంటే బాడీ సెంటర్డ్ క్యూబ్ బాడీ మధ్యలో కూడా ఉన్నటువంటి క్యూబ్ అది అది చూడడానికి అలాగే ఉంది కానీ బాడీ మధ్యలో ఉన్నది Cl కాదు cesium plus. So it is not ideal BCC. It seems to be BCC but not ideal BCC. అర్థమవుతుందా చెప్పండి సో NaCl structure is CCP or FCC structure. Cesium chloride is not ideal BCC. Seems to be BCC but not ideal BCC. This is about crystal